Welcome to AIO Tech Studio. In today's tutorial, we will see how to create user-defined function or custom function in Microsoft Excel. But before we start, here is our intro. If you're finding us for the first time, do subscribe the channel and hit the bell icon to know the update whenever we upload a new video. Function in Microsoft Excel is a preset formula that helps to perform mathematical, statistical, or logical operations. There are lots of built-in functions available in Microsoft Excel. It has been grouped into different categories. Even you can define your own functions and make use of it, which is called user-defined function. Before we start, let's see the support page from Microsoft. I'll put a link in the description box. Almost all the current version of Excel supports the creation of custom function or user-defined function. Custom function like macros use the Visual Basics for Application, also called as VBA, programming language. Let's head to see how to create a custom function or user-defined function. To use VBA or Visual Basic Editor, first enable the Developer tab. For that, go to the ribbon, right-click and click on Customize the ribbon. And make sure to checkbox the Developer tab and click on OK. This will enable the Developer tab. Go to the Visual Basic icon or you can alternatively press Alt F11 to start the Visual Basic editor. Inside the Visual Basic for application, first insert the module from the Insert tab. If you need to rename the module, you can rename it from here. In this space, we will write all the statement and expression to create a user-defined function. The syntax to create a function is function followed by its name. We'll write next number, open parenthesis, where we will put all the input arguments and define it as integer, and finally the output data type. This will automatically bring the end function line to it. In between the function and the end function, we have to write all the statements and expression. Let's look at the syntax again. Function followed by its name, then the input argument. Here I have taken single argument, but you can take multiple argument as well, which is input number and its data type, and followed by and lastly by the result data type. Now in the space between function and end function, we have to write all the statement and expression. To keep it simple, we will write just a simple expression next number equal to input number plus 1. That's it. We have now created a function named next number which gives us the next integer of the input number. Let's test it out. So this is our input number. We will write the expression next number and we'll select the cell C7. So we get the result of the next integer. Let's take another example. This time we will change the function name to multiply number and we'll put two arguments. Input number 1 as integer, comma, input number 2, this will be also an integer. We have to change the expression as well. Multiply number equal to input number 1 multiply by input number 2. Let's check this function. Multiply number, and we have to pass on two arguments. We get the result 6. But the first expression gives us an error because this function does not exist now. In this example, I have created two functions in one module. Function C2F, which will convert Celsius to Fahrenheit, and function F2C, which will convert Fahrenheit to Celsius. In both cases, I have taken a single input argument, which will be an integer, but the output will be double. To know about the different data types available in VBA, check the link in the description box. Let's test this function. So in this cell, I have used the C2F formula to get the result in Fahrenheit. And in this cell, I have used the F2C formula to get the result back in Celsius. Let's see the final example of this tutorial. In this example, I have different text type. The email ID, which has delimiter @ to split the email ID into two sections, username and domain name. In the web address, we have the delimiter dot to split it into three sections. And finally, in the US number, we have the delimiter dash to split it into four sections. The country code, the area code, the exchange code, and finally the line number. To extract the user ID without using the UDF, we have to use this below formula. And to get the domain name from the email ID without the use of UDF, we have to use another formula which is mentioned below. Both the formulas are different, but with the use of UDF, we can make it simple. Coming to the VBA editor, this is the function which I have created. Function name is getText. It has three input arguments: input text as variant, delimiter as string, section as integer, and the output will be string. The first line of code is the statement application.volatile. It will recalculate the sheet if any of the cell changes. And this is the expression to get text. If you need to copy this function, I have put the function in the description box. Let's use the UDF in our sheet. Here is a bonus tip. In a built-in function, you get the function help below as you type the input arguments. But in a UDF, there are two methods to get the help. The first method is to use Ctrl A, and this will pop up the function argument window. And it will show all the arguments which are required. The second method to get help is to use Ctrl Shift A. It will show all the arguments which are required. Just replace this text with the reference. So input text will be C7, delimiter will be D7, and section will be E7. So we got the user ID from the email address. Let's copy this formula down. So in the email ID, there is only one delimiter. So it will have two sections. The first section is the user ID and the second section is the domain name. In the second line, the web address, there is two delimiter. The first is www, the second will be Microsoft, and the third will be com. While in the US number, there are three delimiter. So there will be four sections. So first will be 1, second will be 800, third will be 000, and fourth will be 4 times 9.